Hi, hello, my name is Gomer Joseph. Hope you've all been having a great day so far. Welcome back to another True Crime Tuesdays video. If you are new, I welcome you. Before I discuss this case, I pretty much want to go ahead and start on a positive note. I'd like to inform you all about my new novel, Never As It Seems. It's a Christian suspense book series which does deal with an unsolved murder of a man named Dr. Delroy Davidson. This is the first in a serialized book series. I'll leave the link in the description box if you're interested, and if you do decide to read this book, I truly hope that it's a blessing and an encouragement to you. Today I'll be discussing the unusual death of Pravin Varughese, and I'm really hoping that I'm saying that last name right. I say unusual because there are just too many things that are just confusing with the aftermath of his death. Because of that, I just ask that you please do your own research with this case. I'm going to do my best not to make it sound as confusing as this case unfortunately is. I truly believe that this case never needed to be confusing in the first place, and that this investigation has just been sloppy since the beginning. Here we go. Pravin was born on July 29, 1994 to parents Matthew and Lovely. He's actually the middle child. He has an older sister named Priya, I hope that's how you say her name, and another sister who is younger than him named Preeti, and I hope that's how you say it too. People have described Pravin as somebody who was outgoing. His parents would call him Wawa. He was known as being sociable, loved making people laugh, loved being around people, and had dreams of working with the FBI. After graduating high school, Pravin attended Southern Illinois University in Carbondale, Illinois. On February 14, 2014, Pravin, who was 19 and a sophomore at the time, called his parents like he did every night. Unfortunately, it would be the last time Pravin's parents would ever hear their baby boy's voice. Afterward, he attended an off-campus party. At 11 p.m., police have said that Pravin got into a pickup truck driven by somebody named Gage Bethune, who was 22 years old at the time, and left another party on the same street. It really wasn't clear to me whether they crossed paths before. All I really know is that they didn't really know each other like that, but Pravin was still in his truck. After midnight, Bethune was stopped by police. But the strange thing is that he was alone in the car. Pravin wasn't inside. Bethune claimed to have picked up a black man who was hitchhiking, and this black man supposedly tried to rob Bethune, then took off into the woods. Yet police didn't search the area for this supposed robber like you think that they should or would do. The next morning, Pravin's parents were notified by police that Pravin was missing because a cousin who lived near the campus pretty much reported him missing. So Pravin's parents then drove 300 miles down to Carbondale to look for Pravin. And I just can't imagine how that must have been for Pravin's parents. Like, not only were they worried about their son's whereabouts, but driving that amount of time and stressing about their child must have been exhausting. So since Pravin was missing, police, family, and friends did begin to search. When news about the disappearance was announced, Bethune's cousin recognized Pravin. He contacted the police and admitted that Pravin was in the truck with him. And I'm guessing that Bethune's cousin must have been dropped off to where he was living before Pravin went missing. Since police got this information, they did ask Bethune to come in for questioning, and Bethune voluntarily accepted to be questioned by the police. This time, he changed his story about a black man who was about to rob him, and then said that he did pick up Pravin, but Pravin was looking for drugs. Later on, Bethune claimed that they got into a small physical fight outside of the truck. So Bethune was pretty much called in for a second interview, so this will be like the third time he changed his story. This time he claimed that Pravin just left the truck and ran off before the police arrived. On February 18th, 2014, police knew, because of the information that Bethune gave them, police knew exactly where to look for Pravin. So they searched like about 400 yards away from where the truck was parked and pulled over by the police. They unfortunately found Pravin's dead body. The family was informed about Pravin's death, and they were obviously devastated by this tragic news. Since Lovely, who was Pravin's mother, was a nurse, she wanted to see Pravin's body to have an idea on how her son could have just died. And as she did see the body, she noticed this bruise on Pravin's forehead and wondered who could have harmed him. There was this chief officer named Jody O'Gwyn. He claimed that there was no obvious signs of trauma or outward signs indicating that Pravin was murdered. And, hearing this clearly upset the family after they've, been suffering enough because of Pravin's death. O'Gwyn said that he said this because the coroner said that with Pravin falling down the hill into the woods, that could have caused his death. An autopsy was done, and according to the autopsy, it was indicated that Pravin died of hypothermia, yet there are no injuries. But, since Lovely is a nurse, she didn't accept it, especially when she saw, the bruises, all the injuries on her son. When the family was preparing for Pravin's funeral, the funeral director even noticed the injuries as well. And an autopsy report even called the first one. So this autopsy report even called Pravin Middle Eastern and a female. So from the sound of it, this autopsy doesn't really seem to be reliable. So there was this drug test on Pravin, and there was no indication he ever even took drugs. A second autopsy was done, and it concluded that there are 22 injuries, blunt force trauma to the head, and at least 3 separate injuries. The immediate cause of death was undetermined. Later on, a grand jury would decline to indict Bethune, even though, he was the last person to have seen Pravin alive. After all the facts were revealed, which was, another hard blow for Pravin's family, that, the grand jury would not indict Bethune. Now, the family filed a lawsuit against the city of Carbondale, the police, and Bethune. Jody O'Gwyn was fired after the controversy. Eventually, Bethune was charged with Pravin's murder and was found guilty of killing him. But sometime in 2018, the conviction was overturned after an appeal because the judge felt for some reason that the jury was confused, that they were confused about the indictment's wording, which, confuses me. And overall, this has caused more heartache for Pravin's family. Prosecutors do plan to rebuild this case against Bethune to bring justice to the family. My prayer is for the family to receive justice for Pravin. He didn't get to finish accomplishing his goals, and to me, it really seems like foul play was involved with his death. Pravin's family already misses him dearly. The least that the justice system could do for them is to do what's right and make sure that there's some justice for this sudden death. The God that I serve, the God of the Bible, is a God of justice, and he will make sure that justice is served. I thank you all so much for taking the time in your day to watch this video. If you all did like this video, please feel free to hit the like button. If you all do have any thoughts about this case, please leave your thoughts in the comment section. If you all want to see more videos from me, please feel free to subscribe and click the bell to be notified about the next video. If there's a certain true crime case that you want me to cover, please let me know. I'll see you all next time for True Crime Tuesdays. I'll talk to y'all later.